There's an official licensed Mario manga which has his penis in it.
Is that weird one? They're localizing.
No, it's the very normal one. It's not the weird one at all.
Hey, paisanos, welcome to the very, very, very first episode of the Hard Drive Podcast. You may have accidentally subscribed to us because we were once upon a time the Super Mario Super Show, but I was getting that name wrong too often. So we've revamped and we've come up with a new format. I'm still Mark Roebuck and Jeremy Kaplowitz is still my co-host. How are you doing, Jeremy?
I'm really good. I'm excited to embark on a new journey.
Yeah, I'm kidding around a little bit, but we definitely addressed this last week. But just in case you weren't with us last week, whether you're watching on Twitch right now or listening to our podcast, we are now the Hard Drive Podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
we're out of Marios. We watched 60-some Marios. We watched 13 Captain Ends, which felt like 100 Marios.
And they did so much for all of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've done so much. Please.
Haven't they earned some rest?
The things that this podcast have done to Jeremy and I's hairlines are unspeakable. But very much.
Yeah, I had my hair went down to my butt before we started this podcast, and now I'm balding.
And it happened in reverse for me.
For our first episode, it's just going to be a general Hard Drive podcast. We're going to do all the same stuff. We're probably still going to talk about Mario. We're probably still going to watch Mario every now and then, but it's just going to be the Hard Drive podcast. So for our first episode, we're going to bring on our two of our good buddies, the two other editors of our website, Andy Holt and Kevin Flynn. How you guys doing?
What's up? Hello. Happy to be here.
Doing good.
Also, both paisanos of the show. Both.
Yes, you guys have both been on this podcast before.
That is true.
That's right.
That is true.
We were just talking about Andy did Rapland with us, and Kevin
I did the Elvis one.
Elvin Lives.
Elvin Lives.
Yes.
A great little yarn. Yes. One that's really stuck with me.
So, as we can clearly tell, Kevin's a little bit rock and roll and Andy's a little bit hip hop, but we make it work here at Hard Drive.
Here in the sleek modern Hard Drive offices,
the Panopticon we call it.
We each have brand new MacBooks that we do our important work on.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
Yeah.
You haven't gotten your MacBook sent to you yet, Mark?
The amount of Hard Drive stuff I've done that was on the most Frankenstein, 10-year-old MacBook running Windows, so then you don't have all the buttons you need for shortcuts. I had to Google M- and copy and paste it into every article.
Oh, that's the worst.
I want to say real quick, because there's a little Q&A going on in our Twitch stream. We're going to stream these probably every Thursday night. Someone's asking why the audio is fuzzy, and I think it's on my end. It is, or probably Kevin's too, because you live pretty close to me. It is pouring rain outside.
Is it really?
It really is, dude. So I
Kevin's
guess
in the compound.
I'm in the bunker from Death Stranding.
It's raining so hard it feels like I'm gonna fall asleep. It sounds like an app. You know what I mean?
And
yeah.
I am in California where everything. True. Actually, if you look at my background of Megaton from Fallout 3,
is that what that is?
This is the exact filter that real life has outside right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That yellow.
Yeah.
Makes me want to play 50s music and just vibe out on Fallout.
I think every comparison to sci-fi movies has gone viral already on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was the good timing for the Dune trailer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We got Blade Runner.
A lot of good opportunity. We got Blade Runner.
I posted
jokes.
one from Mandy.
Has anybody done? There's those scenes in Breaking Bad when they're in Mexico and everything's super yellow. Has anybody done that yet? That's
no, I
don't
think so. I don't think so.
I should do that and go viral.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
I mean,
nobody do it yet. I call dibs.
You called dibs on that post.
I called dibs on that post. Everybody wait, and then I'll tell you when it's up, and you can all go retweet it.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the best way to tweet.
Don't want to tell them. Don't want people to. I mean, I don't know if we want to tell people this, but really the control panel of Hard Drive is really just a tweet deck of people may not even know the little corners of the little accounts that are under the umbrella.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Barack Obama.
Yeah, that's
right. Basically, all the that whole crypto thing that happened last night. Our fingers slipped. We accidentally tweeted our Bitcoin wallet from all of our puppet accounts.
It was satire.
You joke, but I did get the hard drive Twitter account frozen for like a full fucking week. And we did this podcast on Twitch, and people were fucking dunking on me like, "Oh, I'm glad you could get on Twitch. You didn't freeze that one too, Jeremy, you piece of shit."
Oh God, that's harsh.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that already.
That was me.
That one. Yeah,
that was me. I was mad.
Yeah, no, what I did was I tweeted the exact same thing as the real hack, but I changed the Bitcoin thing to like gamer XX69 whatever. And Twitter was like, shut it down, you're done.
We're getting everything.
And then the only way to get it back was to go through your email account. And my email account, or our email account for Hard Drive, was an editor who no longer works at Hard Drive, and their email was shut down. So it was just impossible.
So that's the level that we operate at to bring you.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the behind the scenes of
to bring you the most ethical game journalism out there.
Yeah,
that was something that I thought about. It's a funny thing that comes up a lot. Is quite often we'll have a story to match a thing, and sometimes there'll be people will say like, "Oh, I wonder how long were they sitting on this one or something." It's like it's quite the opposite. We just really. We should all be at work right now, but we made this instead or whatever. Like, is kind of the thing is like, I don't know. I guess I appreciate the sort of thought that is like, man, it's a well-oiled machine. They must have something ready for everything.
Yeah.
Also, it's like when the other day when like G4 is like restarting and we were like tweeting hard drive a G4 show, and people were like nah, like you get like people were like nah, you don't need that, or like, oh, there should be like a hard drive channel, or they'd be like, hard drive, like that'd be so cool for G4 if they got like people that, I mean, this isn't like everybody, but I just like I want to make it clear to you how desperately we would like to have that. How nice it would be if anyone wants
people were tweeting us
give
like,
us really any opportunity.
Please start a G4 show, and I was like, yeah, dude, I would also give us a show. I'm not the one saying no to this. Yeah. Also, one of the writers for Hard Drive DM'd me, was like, "Are we really doing a G4 show?" And I was like, dude, I just tweeted something. I don't know.
I just tweeted it.
Dude, if you can will that into existence, like, do HBO or something. Let's go for it. If you have that kind of power. If the tweet deck holds this kind of power, is what we're saying, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the machines that operate the whole world.
All things are possible through tweet decking.
That's true.
It's a tweet deck, a Slack, a Facebook group, Discord. That's it.
I mean,
those are my favorite apps.
Famously, within our dumb editor channel, when I don't think this is throwing him under the bus at all, but Matt Sankum, who runs the Hard Times as a whole, the creator of the Hard Times, when we first launched Ace Watkins, he was a little pissed at us because he was like, guys, if you're going to launch a giant project, you have to let me know. And we were like, we didn't know we were doing a project. We just thought we were doing, thought we were being like, there should be a gamer president. Like, we didn't know. We expected it to not do well.
Yeah.
We thought it would die and, they get 5,000 followers and die the next week. I certainly didn't think that it would be, the 50-pound concrete block tied to my leg that it will be someday.
The albatross around my neck that it's become. I hate you, Ace Watkins.
Because we might have to be president, and that would be exhausting.
Either that or when the government rounds up all the gamers and left-wing comedians.
Yeah,
we'll be right in
the unapologetic ones.
Exactly.
Gotta start apologizing.
Listen, all we would have had to do is apologize.
There's some really good apologetic left-wing comedy. There's no shame in being apologetically left-wing. Sorry, some of you might not like this, but
just be like, I'm sorry, I'm a good guy, but healthcare. It's all.
No, I get it. I get that's not what you believe, and I totally respect that. But we listen to my little joke. That's it. That's how you do it. We're referencing, by the way, Vice Magazine website.com, famously.
Vice Magazine website.com.
One of the worst URLs.
Nothing at all. It's not the Vice but it's a Vice.
But listen, Vice Magazine website makes great toilet brushes.
If you go to vicehardDriveProfile.biz.
Yeah. And anyway, their radio show comes on out here in Tucson, and they said about us once that we were unapologetically left-wing.
This is true.
And I think that's relevant because we like to joke about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the headline of the article they wrote about us. How Hard Drive became the onion of gaming by being unapologetically left-wing, which I think is my fault. I think I said that in a quote, and I I didn't really mean it that intensely, but now I have to stick to our guns and never apologize.
I do think it's pretty wild that that there was a profile calling us the Onion of Gaming after there was an Onion of Gaming.
Yes, called OGN, the Onion Gaming.
That's pretty mean.
That is sad.
That is not something we have ever that we are calling ourselves the Onion of Gaming.
Certainly not.
In fact, we are the largely rejected from the Onion satire website.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I don't know. I kind of like to think of the Onion as the hard drive of everything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. What if there was a hard drive? What if there was a hard drive for just all news? That's the Onion.
Oh, that would be great.
It's like video game satire, but for politics.
Dude, that's been a weird thing. Like when the few times we overlap with like the real gaming industry, like whether it's on Twitter or wherever else, like sometimes I forget that this actually is these people's jobs. Like it's their day job. Like they're really their job, like to very seriously do gaming news. And like, you know, they're willing to joke around with us, but I sometimes forget, like, you know, I have like when I go to like my day job, like if there was just someone just making fun of everything I do, just shitting on me all the time, and people will dunk on me if I don't be like, oh, fine, that's cool, I'm part of it. That's
got
cool.
me.
I get it.
Yeah.
But literally, Gene writes for the Washington Post. He has a very serious job. And we have to like, and I like make him like interact with my dumb tweets, and it's like I just sometimes forget these are people with like like they can't make up the news. They have to actually go find the news.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. They can't curse their way out of a tough spot.
Yeah,
They're not
why aren't
writing
these mainstream?
They're not writing Polygon articles in the bathroom at their day jobs so their boss doesn't know.
The best part of work from home for me has not been having to like be very obviously like have 3 screens open doing hard drive shit.
Just less over. Yeah.
Yeah. In my day job at a company whose name I will not be saying.
Yes. Classified.
Because they don't know I'm a gamer. I've never told them. The other day in a Zoom
prefer
meeting,
not to answer in the paperwork when you started.
The other day, a guy in a company Zoom meeting like mentioned playing Tony Hawk, and then I messaged him like you know, just like joking, like dude, you're not supposed to out us. You're not supposed to we're not supposed to talk about that here.
Yeah,
like, that's not cool. It's not safe.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? And I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're like
a normal person.
Yeah, who enjoys video games.
You walk up to him like, listen, man, I just want to say, I know I was quiet in there, but thank you so much for being brave enough to say that Tony Hawk is fun in that meeting. Thank you so much.
It caught me off guard, but next time I'll say something too.
Just like, man, I know that must have been hard.
We all have our own relationship with the fact that we like video games, and sometimes you have to keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
but yeah, like sometimes also it's part of, you know, there's people in the industry or whatever, but I like, you know, sometimes forget like some people that are gamers are like, yeah, like Tony Hawk, it's fun, like it's like the one from before, like that's fun too, like it's something I do to calm down at the end of the day with you know, with my family and my wonderful home, and like, you know, they're very normal people. And I sometimes forget that like there's a certain sickness that some gamers have.
Wait, so you don't have a backlog that stresses you out?
Yeah. Like I spend.
You're not like, I must beat this game to get to the next dozen, and it's a chore.
And I'm furious while I'm relaxing.
Like I play games for hours a day, and I feel like I'm never actually doing the real gaming. I'm always like, I just played 3 hours of gaming, but it was like Skyrim still, and it's like this doesn't count. I have so much work to do. I need to do Disco Elysium and you know, get good at Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah, that too. That feels like such a big commitment when like you get a new online game and you're like, I gotta get good at this now.
Just like building skill in a game. Yeah. It's like, I feel like that's not a thing anymore. Like it used to make sense to me to. I've gotten very like I've been playing a lot of like RPGs and stuff to pass the time inside. But I targeted RPGs because I was like, oh, there's lots of side quests and there's like lots of things to do, so this will be like fun and distracting. But then I started getting like, well, I'm not having trouble in these boss fights or whatever. Like I have good enough stats. Like I could probably just plow through the story and like skip all these quests and stuff.
Yeah, I can get through this.
You know what I mean? It's like I
Right.
could do a good gentleman's 70% completion and see the bad ending and move on.
That's right. I could get on YouTube and watch the good ending.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But then I one of the series I specifically got into recently was Yakuza, which is really fun if you haven't played it. And the first 3 of them are on Game Pass right now, and so they're pretty widely available. But that game has so many, like, you can beat the first you can beat Yakuza 0 in like 30 hours, but you can spend like 80 hours on it because there's like all these things. Like it's like one of the goals is like play an arcade game in the Sega arcade and get 500,000 points on it, and it's like, and you can actually play these old Sega games from the 80s like in an arcade, and there's just so many fun little distractions. And I was like, I started like taking my time, and I was like, oh, because you were talking about backlogs and you were like, oh, I got to get to the next game. And I've kind of felt like that, of just like wanting to play all these games I haven't had time for. But then I was like, oh, wait, I'm having fun. Like, why not take my time?
Nope.
Yeah.
What a novel idea.
Fuck you, dude.
No way, dude. Outed. Kevin.
I'll never 100% a game in my life. I honestly just don't think I have it in me to 100% a game.
100, yeah, me neither. Unless it's like something like really linear where it's like, I feel like that makes sense in like a platforming game where it's like, if you beat this level really good, then you'll get like the bonus coin or whatever, and then you get something like.
I also don't trust the games, like, because there's so many games where there could be some glitch that happens that like if you like try to 100% like Skyrim or something, the chances that you could get to 100 without there being a game-breaking glitch that keeps you at 99,
some major aggravation,
and like I like don't, and all the satire articles in the world will not make me feel better if that happens. So like I can make fun of Todd Howard forever, and I would stop it all if he gave me a 30-second phone call where he said like,
"Good job,
hi Andy, I'm Todd Howard." Like, he doesn't have to say anything else. If he just acknowledged me, I would, So I don't want to hate him.
Yeah, I think I might have, like, it used to be a different thing too. Like I 100%ed like Donkey Kong Country because that was like,
that's what I'm talking about.
You found the extra bananas.
You got the exclamation point at the end of the level.
Right. Cheers, dude. You got on the rhino there. That was awesome. 100%. It wasn't like, oh, you started the banana shipping business that you didn't have to or something,
Yeah. I do like that was Donkey Kong's way of telling you beat the level completely, is just adding an exclamation point to it. It's like at first the map is like the first map's like Jungle Japes, and then it's like Jungle Japes.
That's right. Fucking you conquered it, man.
Yeah.
If it was like a modern game, that sim objective would be like find all of the bananas and put them all in the crate, and then load the crate up on the ship, and then hire 2 guys to run the ship and start you said, like, start your shipping business where you have to ship it to the other island, and then you do that for all the islands, and every time you pick up a banana there's just an arrow above the crate you have to put it in. You're just walking around. Like, this is seriously how games work now. Like, yeah,
that's a good thought experiment. What's the worst possible version of Donkey Kong Country?
1,000.
Get a whiteboard out. We're brainstorming tonight, baby. What is the worst possible version of Donkey Kong?
Come on, guys. We got to make the shittiest version of this possible. I need your worst ideas.
Right. Okay. How about Diddy Kong has broken ankles and really shouldn't be running? That would be
the music would be like new metal, like a new metal version of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely,
every time he gets a banana, yells.
Yeah, he goes banana.
Allergic to bananas, you wouldn't know it. But...
if you get 100 bananas, you lose a life.
That's right.
Because he was allergic to them.
That's right. Yep. That's pretty good. That sounds terrible.
I love it. I never want to play it.
Yep. We did our jobs here today.
We've done it.
That would be like, there's kind of like the D-Make thing where it's like fun to like look at like, oh, what if they made Rocket League on PS1 or something? But I like that. It's like, what if Donkey Kong Country was just as bad as it could humanly be? What if they really just botched it?
I love that D-Make stuff. There was some... Wait, what were you going to say?
Couldn't have been good.
I was going to say, I just saw a cool clip online. So there's some like fan mod of Smash Bros. 64 where like they added in the characters from like Smash Melee in it. Do you see this?
I believe it's the other way around. I'm pretty sure
the other
it's
way
a
around.
Melee mod that makes it look like 64.
Oh, really? That's almost more interesting because that's like pulling the aesthetics forward into the Melee physics.
A little easier, I think.
Yeah. But that there was some trailer on some blogs the other day. I forget. Yeah, maybe it's called Smash Remix. Somebody called it out in the chat. But they released something about like you can play as Bowser, and they use like a facsimile of the the Mario 64 Bowser character model, and it looks really dope. I was interested in it. Yeah.
All right, Jeremy. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna demake the podcast. We'll do one more episode of the Mario Show.
Okay.
But we'll record it onto cassette tapes, and then we'll sell like 100 of them. It'll be like some punk rock
like the
single,
Mountain Goats.
And then in 30 years, when we both die, it'll become valuable.
Thanks for saying 30, man. That was awesome.
Stretch goals.
Stretch goals. Mark and Jeremy make it another 30 years. We kickstart our lives.
Why sugarcoat our Patreon goals? We need this money to live.
It'd be such a crazy thing to promise to subscribers. You pay $5, we'll keep Jeremy alive for
sending
1 more year.
a fucking angry email to Kickstarter because Jeremy got hit by a car and died 5 years in.
Right.
Do you guys remember this? There was this guy. This must have been like within the past 10 years. This was like some weird Reddit dig, maybe even pre-Reddit, like front page of dig.com.
Sure, yeah.
But there was this guy who like made a website where it was half thought experiment, half like performance art, and he basically like sold shares of ownership of his life, and then he had a forum where he would like tell people like what he was up to and like how he spends his time and like his like diet and shit, and people could like vote on like how he like
like a shareholders meeting.
Yeah, the people
that
got
is
shares were,
deranged.
like, I know,
People on the board were like, we think you should break up with Claire. We really don't think that's.
I think literally one of the big decisions involved a breakup or some like major life decision. I don't know enough. I know so few details about this anecdote to be telling it, but look
I love
up
it
this.
though.
I don't want to know if it's true. I don't want to know what the real version is. I like your version of it.
I like your version.
Yeah, this is the aesthetic
I like
that I'm.
I like it just like since
Yeah.
it's as stocks, everything is broken down into bar graphs, whether just like diet or like fun stuff or anything. It's all just like plummeting or coming in through a ticker or something.
Yeah, it's like you should work
like,
more.
He's hungry. Oh no. Okay, good. He started eating. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's exactly like Captain Crunch's Crunchling Adventure.
Dude, I spent enough time like pretty much the first like year that I was a hard drive editor, just like unemployed in my house, like just got a useless graduate degree, just like shuffling around. Like if you look at a lot of the hard drive posts from that time have sort of a twinge of darkness to them. That was like largely from that. And yeah, when you spend enough time like alone waiting for your girlfriend to get home every fucking day, like you think about, I had the thought like, is there a way to monetize some of this? Like I have like a human body. I have like a computer and like basic, amenities. I have electricity. Like some of this I can get this going, right?
Yeah. This is a product.
Yeah, Twitch plays Andy. Like
yeah. I'm just saying I would have been open to that if someone wanted to handle some of my decisions for me. That would have been great.
I guess the real question is what level of commitment do you have to the stakeholders or whatever, to the shareholders? Right. If they're like, we think you should probably drive into oncoming traffic. It was a tough vote, but it's just we just think it'd be better for the long-term investments if we can just maybe cash the body out
and fuck off and die has it by 5%.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, let's start up a poll to see which ones of us should live.
Oh my god. This is going to be the premise of a shitty straight to Netflix movie in 5 years.
Yeah,
What's
seriously. Yeah, seriously.
Just like
someone in the chat just mentioned Black Mirror. It's very
Black Mirror.
This does sound
Definitely.
like a fucking Black Mirror script.
knocking at the door of Charlie Brooker. Charlie Brooker's going to come to the door and be like, "Yeah, I'll turn that into an episode."
But I like the idea of like
I was a friggin' Twitch.
What if a guy was a Twitch?
What if
I like
the
the
game
idea of,
played
like-
the person?
Yeah.
But just like all the people just like are so deeply like serious. They have briefcases and they meet in conference rooms, but it is just like about the petty everyday going on.
Yeah.
Of someone like Andy or some who is just like, we think you should start drinking a diet soda, Andy.
We're disappointed with the returns.
That beer at 2 p.m. is not doing you anything.
And you're aware of it. It's not like it's like a hidden thing. Like you're like, all right, I'll do what I got to do if that's what the shareholders want.
Right. Yeah. Can I talk to you for a second? I can. I got to meet my bosses, but I'm your boss. No, these are like my bosses. You're my work boss.
Yeah.
These men are always my boss.
This is a boss.
When my girlfriend gets home, like, what have you been doing? Nothing. Nothing. It's like, why? Yeah, like, that would be quite the challenge to live like a secret life where like maybe like 9 to 5 shareholders control you, and then you have like you know, I think that you know, maybe just because I think in these terms, but I mean, at what point do these kind of people unionize? At what point do they, you know,
at some point you might strike
collectively bargain, you know, for the amount of hours that other people make your decisions for you.
Well, these are the answers Kevin refuses to tell us about this story.
Listen, I've been a mark analyst for 4 years, and I need job security. I don't know where this guy's headed.
Oh my god!
This could be this is about all you need for a Black Mirror episode.
This is a new we're gonna I called dibs on that tweet that I said that I already forgot, and we called dibs on this episode. We're gonna write it.
We all know what guys are. We all know what Twitches are. What if a guy was a Twitch? I hate Black Mirror.
That's where things get crazy.
I was gonna say, I feel like we just pulled Jeremy's string and he could just go.
Yeah,
man.
I've never
dogs' thoughts were printed out.
No, that's really more like a Simpsons episode. Wait, that was babies.
True.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen Black Mirror, but I could talk for hours about how much I don't like it.
That's all you need, man.
I could tell you so many things I don't like about it.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 episodes of it.
Like I've probably made fun of IGN more than I've like read IGN.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll be honest.
What are you? Sorry,
I'll be honest.
I know Seth Macy's in the comments, our IGN editor, but
oh shit, is he? What's up, Seth?
We're talking about IGN.org. Don't worry, Seth.
I got nothing. I got nothing against IGN. If IGN would, in fact, if IGN would like to hire me, I'm there. Anything.
I'll take it all back.
Yeah,
I do think that's like an interesting thing with hard drive, like that misconception sometimes of just like a joke equals a shot or something, or do you know what I mean? Like, oh boy, they must really hate blank thing, where it's like, no man, I just have stupid jokes in my head more often than not, or do you know what I mean? Like, obviously sometimes it comes from a place of like, oh yes, we think this thing is fucked up, and as such here it is, but like, you know what I mean? It's not cause first to joke second, at least for me. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but you know, I feel like I have so few axes to grind is what I mean.
Yeah, my God.
I'm not out here righting any wrongs, nor do I think I am or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's funny enough to make me not feel like a failure until the next one.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer to lampoon. If I'm going to lampoon anyone, I'm going to lampoon these game developer fat cats. And
that's right.
Finally,
unethical ways.
Right.
Finally, game developers and game journalists have been lampooned by hard drive.
We got.
I'm gonna take down these developers that like make the games that I love, but like there's parts that I don't like as much.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fuck them all. Fuck them all, man.
That's why I like an indie game, because I want to know that someone was like, I'd rather one guy was miserable for 6 years by his own design than a team were for 18 months or whatever, you know? Like, it's just I prefer that more. It's like a mom and pop sort of misery that you get
right.
from a nice little indie game. Yeah, you know, it really just shows in the nooks and it is funny though, talking about like mingling, bumping elbows, if I can effortlessly segue into a prepared somewhat segment.
Okay.
All right.
What the broadcaster I am, Jeremy was gonna fart on the mic for us. No, I'm kidding. It's a different show,
he did
folks.
it. Oh, he did it anyway.
The gloves are off
now.
He does it for the love of the game.
That's right. But no, like, it's funny where we've talked about a few times now, sort of like, you know, you brush up alongside people, whether it's like a response or just like, you know, like we are just talking about these things and we're sharing the same space when it's all just online stories, whether it's this link to IGN or ours or whatever, you know. So sometimes bumping elbows in a weird way. And Andy, as you do, you get press passes if you can, and you test the waters with what your thing that is kayfabe kind of pretending to be real. So like Andy used a hard drive press credential to go to E3. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, so it was like, I mean, it was like anything we do. It's always, you know, it's all a joke. It's all sort of a fiction in your, like, you know, we're commenting on gamer culture as like a web thing. So it's also fictional in your head. But I was like, oh, the E3 has like a press thing. I live in LA, so I wouldn't have to travel. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I made like a fake business card and wrote a letter on a fake letterhead and sent it in to try to get a press pass? And then it worked. And then I was like,
so now it's not even, like, is it fake? Yeah, it's not even fake, right?
Exactly. And then I said to Jeremy, like, it's so crazy. I made like a fake business card in like, you know, Photoshop or whatever. And now I got in. And Jeremy was like, it is That's a business card.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, man, but that's a real business card.
Dude, it's got your email on
business
it.
information on it.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
I
a
read
magical
that-
stuffed animal that you have to believe in for it to be real, you know?
I could send an email to the one that's on that card, and you'll get it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's
The
right.
Better Business Bureau needs to watermark every single business card to validate it.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt like a trick. Like it felt like I didn't like at first it was like I'm not going to belong there.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to report on, and no one will believe anything I say is true or happened, right? Like, because as you've seen, like the rare times we post something that isn't a joke on hard drive, that's just like, oh, we have a new podcast, or like, oh, like check out this whatever. Everyone's like, oh, good one, or everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't get what the joke is here. Like, like they won't believe me. So like,
it's a bit.
so yeah, but I was like I'm not gonna fit in. I don't belong there. And then I had talked to Jeremy, and I was like, no, you know what? Like hard drives, like popular. Like we're part of the gaming world. Like blogs go there, so like I do belong there. And then I went there to like the press room, and I do not belong there. Actually, I totally don't. Like because I got there and I realized, like I'm like, oh fucking yeah, E3, like games, like it's like this is gonna be great.
We love
It's gonna
it.
be so funny. This is gonna be so funny. And then I like got there, and it's their job. Everyone's just doing their job. Like
Mhm.
Like, oh,
they're just
everybody's
sitting there. They're just sitting there in their cubicles working. They're like kind of stressed. Like, and it's like they have fans now. Well, not now. I think E3 is over forever. I think it was the last E3.
Right.
But yeah, like I got there and just very quickly realized like there's lines for everything. If you don't have like appointments with the companies
Right.
to like help promote things, there's nothing to do really. So I guess I forgot to say this part. I took like huge dose of edibles before I went.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
really
it actually
funny.
explains a lot if you've seen what I wrote while I
Yeah.
was there. But I was like, this is gonna be great. So yeah, so I'm like vibing, right? It's like early and it's
Vibing.
like yeah, I mean,
And again,
it's
and now
a
you're just in
weekend
someone's
LA.
workspace.
Yeah, and also this was in a period of my life where I didn't, like I said, I was like unemployed, super low, like at end of my rope, like just sitting at home, despondent, like I'll never get a job, nothing will ever. It's ever gonna work out for me. And I was like, so fuck it. Like this is gonna turn over a new leaf. I'm gonna go to E3. It's gonna be so cool. And cranked on edibles and show up in just a silent, freezing cold room with a bunch of people typing, and then a crowded convention hall of strangers. So I just like decided to just lean into the edible situation and just wander around. And like I had been reading Hunter S. Thompson at the time, so I like imagined this sort of like Hunter S. Thompson style character, because like really what Hunter S. Thompson was really just a fuck up who was really good at covering how bad he fucked up by making it funny. Like
Yeah, like I was supposed to cover the horse race, but here's this instead. And
yeah, like
the horse race shows up.
Yeah, and he like nails it. And now you like study it in school as a writer, and they're like, he made himself a part of the story. He like, did this creative like thing that changed journalism. But really he was just like a fucking like drug addict who kept fucking up, but made it found a way to make it funny and published it. So I was like, I guess I'll just do that. Like I'll just like make random shit up and like just be fucked up wandering around E3. So then I wrote this whole thing one day at a time while I was there. I'd like didn't talk to anyone at any companies. I didn't do any, like I very much could have made all this up. I didn't actually have to go. But
Yeah,
the
I've thought about
reality
that,
of
but
it,
yeah.
the reality
great.
of it was me just wandering around E3, like not knowing what to do. And like every now and then texting someone, like a couple people on Twitter were like, oh, like I'd love to meet up or whatever. And then, just like never.
And you sent them back a string of unintelligible letters because it was so
Yeah.
soft.
Well, it'd always be like, I'll meet you next to the rock wall or whatever. And it's just like a giant,
Right.
crowd of people. And like, the
And it's
power
like there's
went out.
20 guys cosplaying as rock walls here.
Right.
I can't find you.
They're always like, "Hey, meet me on top of the rock wall." It's like, man, it doesn't mean that much to me.
Yeah. But anyway, never has the like shallowness of satire been more clear to me than when I showed up and realized that I had nothing to do there. But I did and yeah, like there was just huge lines for everything, which I wrote about in the piece too. But there was Luigi's mansion setup that was pretty cool. You like walk through it and it's spooky, but like not that spooky. I wasn't scared.
That's really cool.
I wasn't that scared.
So I didn't think you were scared until you clarified that. No, I think I think you backed out and left through the entrance.
Coward.
It made me appreciate the professionals.
Well, hey, no, but also as a guy that gets scared, I can understand being on some edibles. A fucking Luigi's Mansion in real life would freak me the fuck out. That's fine.
I was just very freaked out because again, it was like I don't like to be on edibles in a work environment. Like it made me. I just felt very like out of place. And then I would try to talk to people. Like try to be like, hey, how is your gaming journalism going? Like, what do people talk about? I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Did you have a fear of being like, I don't know, found out or so, you know what I mean? Like that
fear or a loathing.
I mean,
or loathings.
Well, I felt like, I don't know. I felt like people knew that I shouldn't.
Oh
be
yeah.
there. And also like, I would talk to people. I'm not like all that social, but I would like talk to every now and then I talk to someone and they all knew what hard drive was, but it was always like, they'd be like, oh, like, what do you do? And I'd be like, I write for Hard Drive. I don't know if you know us. And they'd always be like, yeah, I do. And they'd just be really
right.
Hell yeah.
And I'd just be like, oh, okay.
It's cool. Like, yeah, thanks for the words. Kind of like, okay,
yeah. It's like, well, you said you wrote for like games dot like games dot news dot like Fred's picks or whatever, like some shitty old WordPress blog, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I think I've heard of that, and you can't give me like,
thanks,
yeah, you guys are funny. Like, come on, like I just listened to you talk about your blog for like 20 minutes.
Right. Hey, listen, gamespoots.com is more than a blog.
Wanted someone to tell me I was funny. Also, I looked like a. This is true. I took a photo of myself with a cigarette in my mouth for the story. Oh yeah. And I was gonna take it right in front of the doors, but you can't have a cigarette near a building in California.
Really?
Like, yeah, California is just crazy about I mean, I could like, I was trying to explain to the person like, oh, I'm not gonna light it. I'm just taking a photo, and like the security guard was kind of like not into that. But so like I'm far away from the building because California doesn't like tobacco near buildings for the children. It's for the children.
Mm-hmm. Did you ask the security guard if he knew what hard drive was?
Have
you ever heard of The Onion?
Seth Macy, IGN writer, or editor rather, just said, hard drive frequently appears in our work Slack, so you are all beloved. I appreciate that very much. That is a very nice statement.
Thanks, man.
IGN should write an article about hard drive then.
Calling him out live in front of all of Twitch.
Meet the comedy site that unapologetically asked for this article.
I will apologize if we get it.
How Hard Drive got this article by being unapologetically persistent.
We did review IGN, I believe, right?
Yeah.
We did. That's right.
There's a good review. We have a good review.
We called it clunky.
Serviceable,
clunky, but serviceable.
It was a 7 point something, right?
6.9 we gave it.
There we go.
Was Seth at the last E3?
I don't know. Seth was at PAX.
Seth was at PAX.
No, this might be the obvious thing, Andy, but
what's up?
But were you there for Keanu saying you were breathtaking?
Yes.
Keanu said you were breathtaking.
I very much was like, it's so like the reality of it's so lame that I was just walking around like looking for stuff to satirize. Like I was just, just like walking around like being like
the Terminator, just scanning things.
Yeah.
Funny, not funny, face reality.
Just like
thing.
Like pupils the size of quarters, just walking around. But no, that was very cool. It was in the same, I think it's the same theater that they do like the like Emmys in and stuff. Like it was, I could be wrong, but it was like a big theater and it was all like decked out in like green and black for like the Xbox thing and like a giant screen. And that was where they revealed, like they're just showing that trailer for the first time where like the camera pans and it's Keanu's face in the game. And even all the like, people that were there for work or whatever, everyone just like melted down.
That's next.
And then he walked out. Like not only do we not know he was not going to be in the game, but then he like walked out and I have nothing negative to say about it. It was a transcendent experience.
That's so exciting
to be in the room with him.
I mean, it was transcendent just like seeing the video the next day or whatever. It was great. I could only imagine the magic in the air,
Just like the same energy as like Miyamoto coming out with the Zelda sword and shield like back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like fucking Twilight Princess or whatever.
Oh yeah, that popped up. Tukaro said that in the chat.
Exactly, I just saw that.
As you were saying that was like, yeah. I was I don't know if you saw, but Seth Macy said I wanted to write an article, but someone pointed out, didn't you used to write for them and brought up some ethics issues. I jumped in to speak for us all and said we're super ethical, and that sounds fine to me.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
As the most ethical video game website, I think that's okay. I think we can put an okay on that one.
It's so easy to be down a few rungs and being like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
come on.
No problem.
Come on down.
Look, Seth, I appreciate you checking with us on this, and you can confirm that yes, it would be ethical for you to write about us.
Yeah, we actually scored a perfect 10 on meta ethic. And
if you did, if IGN did write about us, clearly it would be all daisies from then on. It would just be we'd be just riding the golden highway off to.
No one's ever been mad at IGN.
No,
Never.
No one's ever mad at video games in general.
Seth, if you want to know the truth, I think it's fucked up the way Onion did that OGN shit. And I would go on record with that.
Yeah, that's true. We'll talk shit about the Onion.
We would never.
IGN.
It is just one key on the keyboard apart. I and O are right next to each other.
Right.
So.
As a video game satire website.
As lazy as you can be to satirize something.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. It's more of a typo than a website.
Or just like as a website that made Onion style articles about video games for many years before OGN happened. I think I do think it's totally derivative and a ripoff for them to use a name similar to IGN's. I think that obviously they're being lazy. That's what they stole.
I'm trying to find our OGN article. I've only found our Newsweek article.
Whoops. How did that end up on top of the pile?
Oh my god.
You don't read that every day.
And there's my Smash Bros stage.
Yeah. Where's
I forgot about that
article that we wrote, though?
Oh, can we remind everyone on Twitch that it is September?
It is September.
I just saw a pop up.
What is September?
It's like September, except, you got a pun in there now.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's
discounts on channel subscriptions if anybody wants to toss a coin to The Witcher.
Why are you scrolling through our Newsweek article?
I was trying to find the article we wrote about OGN.
It's OGN thinks gaming is a joke, right?
Yeah, but I couldn't.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Wanted it to be easier.
I
like how we put in so much effort to be nice to them, and now we're like our first.
Yeah, I know. We're very nice.
I mean, we did. I mean, I will go on the record and say every satire site, including us and like the Hard Times and Reductions and everything, everyone's ripping off the Onion.
Yeah, I don't appreciate them stealing their shtick back, frankly.
We've done really well with this TV that we stole from their house, and this is such a bummer. We were watching that. Man.
Oh, we were watching. Don't change.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
If anyone ever is like, oh, so what is that like the Onion for video games? I say, I've never heard of the Onion. Is that like the National Lampoon or something?
Oh man,
we're ripping off the National Lampoon, but the Onion.
Yeah, and like even before that, like I don't know, it's like the idea of fake news reporting. Like Weekend Update predates the Onion, so it's like it's all on a continuum.
True. Right?
Yeah, and people had jokes like before that even. So
right, people were telling jokes as far back as the 1950s. People were telling jokes,
and time is cyclical.
Yeah. So it's all gonna start over again soon.
So we didn't rip off anybody.
Yeah. I think Stanley Kubrick faked that footage of people being funny in the 50s, though. If you want to know the truth, I'm into that conspiracy theory. There's no way.
You look at it. When you look at the wind, there wouldn't be that kind of wind.
The wind, the adequate wage. Everyone was just happy as fuck. There's no reason for like actual comedy to happen. Everyone was doing well.
Yeah, those manufacturing jobs. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, when I get home from making fucking like more than enough nut to make my house payment at my goddamn grocery store job, do you want to go to the comedy club? Like, no, we're gonna hang out and dance in front of the radio.
So originally we were thinking that we could have Andy read the first of his 3 E3 diaries. Should we just keep trucking along to another hard drive thing, or should we read it? What do you guys think? How are we feeling?
Read it. I mean, Andy's the big. If Andy doesn't want to read it, I wouldn't like scream at him to read it, but I think he should read it.
You want to read it?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean,
hard drive reading corner.
Do we have? Yeah.
I have music.
Yeah, why not?
Play, but you won't be able to hear it. But
it's fine. I can pop on the audio on Twitch for a sec to get a feel for what kind of music I'm doing here.
I put it in the Slack if you want to play it on your
own. So that's the other thing. I was gonna say earlier, in my experience, being a hard drive editor is 95% just being in the Slack. The Slack is like my favorite tab of my tabs.
Yeah.
I have many tabs, and the Slack is one of my favorite of the 10 tabs.
I love that
have
old
open.
Slack there. We love that
one.
Slack.
It's a good one.
Before you get started,
yeah,
Andy, I have a quick question. You did mention that you were zonked on edibles, and you also mentioned that you wrote this over a period of 3 days. So did you get equally zonked every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you have to get back up to that level to write?
Great question, Kevin.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad you asked this, and I've been meaning to get into this. I prefer a sativa edible, which has become very popular in recent years. You know, so it keeps the ups going. You know,
on the rise.
But yeah, it was a funny thing where like I took the edibles because I was like, you know, who knows, maybe something funny will happen. I don't know. So I took them, and then I went, and then I went, and it was like a fun day, and I just kind of on a whim just wrote this crazy thing, and then was like, maybe I set it up to have like a part 2, and then I went home. I rode a Lime scooter all the way home, several miles. in like the heat, because I thought like this will be an adventure, and then much like the other stuff in E3, like a third of the way in, I was like, this would have been cool as a story. I don't actually have to do this.
Yeah.
But I did that, and then I got home and went to sleep, and then I woke up the next day, and it was like I had really made the bed for myself. Like I was like, well, now I got to do all of that again.
You called it part 1.
Yeah, like
right.
I called it part 1, so now I have to do another.
You called it 3 days
so
now.
Now I have to find another tropical shirt and take more edibles. And do it again. And it ended up being fun, but like everything in this everything in this thing I wrote is like all the places are real, and all the things that happen in like the world of it. Like there's a part where the power goes out, and like the power actually went out at E3.
Really?
That's right.
I didn't know about any of this shit. I thought it was made up, man.
Yeah, it seems bonkers.
So
that's why I thought like Kevin could have written this in Andy could have written this in his bedroom, and I didn't realize how much of it was like informed by. Yeah, that's great.
So it's like it's all made up, but like it's written so that this could have happened at E3. It's like all the locations are real. There's a character in it that is a real dude. That was the guy at the door of the press room. I like wrote him in, and then I ended up writing him into like the plot or whatever. But yeah, it was just sort of I don't know. It was a weird thing. Like I didn't like plan it any particular way, but like every location in it is real, and every like event separate from the main character is real. There's a bar in it that I actually went to the bar and was like drinking, watching hockey, but like I wrote it so that something happens. So yeah, it's sort of it was really just out of laziness, but I ended up like it ended up being a cool mix of things. But it's funny, it is true what you say, that like I didn't have to I didn't actually have to be there for any of this.
Right, like, but that said though, more of it you did more than I realized, or you know.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, it was probably the last E3.
Right.
We also killed E3 as an organization.
I did it. Yeah. And I got fucking doxxed. I keep forgetting about that.
You ended up on that list because of that.
That's right.
Like, okay, you want to be a gamer journalist? Okay, here you go.
Dude. I really got the full experience, my one professional experience. I got doxxed, and all that happened is I got like 15 emails from random gamers saying, just so you know, you're on a doxed list. So I'm just emailing you to let you know that that you got doxed. And I was like, this isn't helping at all. This isn't.
No, this is increasing my panic.
Like those strangers that you're warning me you're going to email me. That's you right now.
Right.
Like I don't know you. And then I saw on Reddit people being like, well, like any of them that put their personal email or like it's their own fault. They should have known that it could get. Literally several Redditors. I'm like. I would say probably about a dozen Redditors I saw giving similar takes of like, well, you know, when they should know by now when you're filling out your information for a convention that like that's exactly the kind of thing that you're going to get doxxed, like if you're a games journalist. So like, you know, like, yeah, I feel for them, but like if they put their own personal email, like this is a lesson for them in like professionalism.
Mm.
And it's like, these are fucking video games, man. What are you talking about? Like,
they didn't even do
that
anything. They didn't like hack into the fucking mainframe. It's the E3
right.
forgot to take them offline.
It was an unprotected spreadsheet, right? Like it
yeah,
wasn't
they just had the spreadsheet online.
Spreadsheet.
And all E3 is, like, having seen it, it really, like, really people, real like games journalists are in this weird it's this weird like half reality that like, now that I've seen it, like the way, I mean, Seth could talk about this more probably, but like the way that the culture is so heightened, and there's all this fighting about reviews and about like different which console is better, what kind of gamer you are, like all that kind of shit. We all know it's stupid. It's like what we make fun of all the time, but it's also like, so it's not just that it's wrong, it's on such a different wavelength than the actual job. Like I mean, they're reporting on it, they're entertainment reporters, right? They're reporting on new entertainment products and reviewing them and stuff. And like, but it's just people if you wrote a blog where you review things, it's the same job. They're just the best people at it or whatever. Right. But seeing like just people quietly kind of stressed out trying to get all these press releases out, and then seeing it doxed and people being like, we're going to teach these people about like professionalism, and it's so completely divorced from what any of the industry actually is. Like it's people's fucking jobs, man. It's not like, God, none of this is very funny, but this is how I actually feel. It's good. It blew my mind, like to really see like this professional thing, and then see the way people on like Reddit like twist everything into this like complicated conspiracy, when really it's like, it's weirdly them being dicks to workers. Really, people are just trying to do their jobs, man. It's not even
labor.
Fuck yeah, man.
Gaming's labor. Exactly.
Yeah, gaming journalism is labor. Gaming is labor. We're all workers, you know.
We're all workers.
Gamers need
that's
to
how I
unionize.
feel. Exactly.
Thank you. You know I actually believe this.
I know. You've written about it.
We're getting one big guild, and that's it.
I've written things that were not satire about it, and people have found them very funny. I don't
they are funny.
All right. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it, dude. I'm gonna play this.
All right, I'm gonna become
on my end. You can play it on your own if you'd like.
You're gonna become
on our Slack.
I'm just gonna get a feel for it.
The song is from the YouTube audio library, so no one can sue us. It's called "Glory to the Gardener." You're gonna be able to hear it if you're a listener. It's just the other editors who won't be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Right. Gotta find it in the. God, Slack, like, it's a mess.
Slack's a mess.
All right, that's right. Got him. All right, here we are. All right, do we have it going?
Yeah, it's going, man.
Nice. Okay, it's really nice. All right, we're at E3. Well, I gotta turn that off. Okay. All right, so yeah, I had been reading Hunter S. Thompson. So this was take yourself away from reality.
Clear your mind.
Take yourself away from me sitting in a cold press room typing at 6 p.m. trying to get this uploaded, and enter the internet world of like the fictional internet world of what gaming is. That's where this happens. This is online. We're online now. Okay.
This is beautiful.
3 Days in Hell. The E3 Diaries, Part 1. I checked into the hotel next to the Los Angeles Convention Center last night around 10. The next morning was the start of E3, my first event as a gaming journalist, so I decided to keep the evening professional. Chugged a few Red Bulls, downed a handful of weed gummies, played my Switch in my room until about sunrise, and fell asleep. Nothing out of the ordinary. So it's a real mystery how 5 hours later, I woke up alone in a motel outside San Bernardino wearing somebody else's clothes. Cargo shorts, plastic sandals, and a tropical shirt with 5 pills in the breast pocket. The pills looked like Adderall, or maybe antibiotics. The clothes stank of Juul pods. There was thin purple dust on my palms. Dude, I had no idea what I was doing when I was writing this. And worse, I was late. It was already 11 in the morning, and I was stuck at least 60 miles outside the city. There was no way I could afford an Uber. I had visions of hard drive taking me off the E3 story before I could even finish the first day. I needed to hustle. I scrolled through Twitter for an hour, got out of bed, washed my face, and ate all the pills. I only had about $5 on me, which it turned out was just enough to buy a train ticket downtown. Things were already looking up. Sure, I was broke, but a trade show sounded like a great place to be broke. The press room was even supposed to have free lunch. I was back in good spirits. I stood on the station platform, sweating Red Bull, waiting for the pills to kick in. I did actually have like 5 Red Bulls that day. The train came almost 5 minutes late. I told the clerk politely but firmly that this was total bullshit, and she apologized, but I don't think she meant it. I picked a car with only 2 other passengers, a young man with a greasy beard near the front and a 20-something woman in the back. The woman wore a vintage Pokemon Blue shirt. Raising his voice so that she could hear him across the rows, the young man explained to the woman that the Japanese version of Pokemon Blue was actually an update on the original games, Pokemon Red and Green. Instead of thanking him for teaching her such an interesting fact, she ignored him. Some people have no manners. Those were both real people I saw.
And that is an actual interesting fact that
is,
one another for sharing.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, those were both real people I saw. Not on a train, but shouts to them. I settled into my seat and checked my phone for clues about what happened last night. No photos, texts, or calls, but there was a new note in my notes app. Just one word. Wah. I felt dizzy for a second, and when I closed my eyes, I saw a quick flash of purple. Probably just the sun hitting my eyelids through the window. It was 90 degrees outside. The rest of the ride I spent reorganizing the apps on my phone, first by name, then function, then color. So that was one mystery solved. The pills were definitely Adderall. By the time I reached the convention center and got my badge and worked my way to the press lounge, I was soaked with sweat. My blood sugar had dropped so low I could barely stand. I hadn't eaten since the weed gummies last night. My mouth tasted like metal. The press lounge had water and tables and some puffy bean bags on the floor, but no alcohol and nothing to eat. I had missed the free lunch. Just like that, my good vibes were gone. This was rock bottom. No food, no money, no idea how the hell to write about E3. Don't they stream everything now anyway? Who reads about video games? I plucked down a beanbag, closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and when I opened my eyes again, a reporter from IGN was telling me I should probably leave. I asked if the reporter knew where I could find some food. You were snoring, the reporter said. Everybody has been staring at you. I asked if he could help me figure out how to write about video games. I've never even seen a video game, the reporter told me, sounding wistful. But I did fall asleep on the beanbags. That is also true. But no one woke me up. But he was nice enough to point me to the E3 show floor, which looked like if gaming had a stroke. The people were blood clots clogged up, waiting in the lines and causing all these hallucinations. A gargantuan Pokemon battle arena next to a real-life Luigi's Mansion and Nintendo Olympics rock climbing wall. There was also a Sega booth, which was sad. I walked around looking for something to do my games journalism at. Those are all. Thank you. Those are all real things, and the Pokemon arena was sick. Nintendo's the last company that goes all out on this shit, I think.
I was gonna say, because when we went
sick, man.
When we went to, you were talking about the Luigi thing, not to get us too off track, but you reminded me that at PAX, or New York Comic Con rather, no, at PAX, they had a replica of the Animal Crossing island, and there was a Duke and Tom Nook thing, and we didn't even get in because the line was so long, but they do amazing little experience installations.
That was pretty much
Nook on the mouth.
That's true. You did do that.
Little tongue, no tongue.
Yeah, a little bit of tongue.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's. It starts to get weirder here.
Yeah.
The first thing I learned about E3 is that apparently they have their own definition of unlimited free samples, and it's not the same definition I learned in school. The folks handing out samples at the G Fuel energy drink booth tried to explain this to me, but I had a real hard time understanding. Were we in disagreement about what free meant also? Were they about to shake me down? Was this a robbery? Did they want a piece of this? Huh? Did they want to fight me? These no skills having default fucking losers? They called a security guard over, and I guess she understood them just fine because she didn't even ask a single question. When the security guard escorted me off the show floor, I pulled out my phone and read her the definition of unlimited, not limited or restricted in terms of number, quantity, or extent, So I explained that basically we're talking about infinity here. Unlimited samples of energy drink means infinite samples, not stopping me after 19. The security guard said she was just working the event. I asked if she would agree that 19 was less than infinity. She told me to stay out of trouble and let me go. The gaming industry is full of liars. They tell you the game is free and they add microtransactions. They charge full price for DLC and expect you to come back for more. They tell you that you can have as much energy drink as you want. And then 5 minutes later, all of a sudden, they're taking your sample cup away and they're saying you have a problem. And who suffers? Gamers. If you don't mean unlimited, don't say unlimited. Later on, I was in the bathroom throwing up the last of the G Fuel when a developer from Bethesda came in and started doing some quick bumps of Coke off the sink. I won't say his name, but the two of us go way back. We used to split an apartment on Skid Row, hawking old games just to make rent, hustling suburban dads at Golden Tee Golf to pay for beer.
Golden Tee Golf.
This character is who I want to be.
This is the dream life.
Okay, the old this is a guy from Bethesda. The old friend smiled and offered me a bump. Hit this bomb ass yayo, he said. That wouldn't be ethical, I explained, to take it for free. I'm a reporter. I gave him $1 and we did a few lines each. It tasted kind of crappy, but my developer friend insisted it was pure Colombian shit, that quality powder, dude, and also that Fallout 76 wasn't really that bad if you ignored the hysteria and really just gave it a chance. So now here I am in the media room typing up my E3 diary for hard drive, just barely short of the deadline. I don't feel anything. I'm pretty sure that guy from Bethesda was snorting stevia. Wait, I just saw this guy. He was wearing my clothes. And then there's a pause. Damn it, I chased him into the hallway, but then he was gone. Poof. If anybody sees a tall, skinny man with a huge pink nose and the longest black mustache you've ever seen, please let me know. I'll be back tomorrow. So that was it. That was the first day.
Love it.
It's kind of long, but yeah,
it's a beautiful trilogy.
It got really.
It is great.
It gets a lot weirder. I ended up like it's a whole like a whole sort of like murder mystery situation sort of in it, and
it's
it's kind of wild. There's a part with where the guy I might actually. Yeah, there was a part where the guy races a girl on the rock wall and gets mad and says it wasn't fair, and it's all silly, but it's my favorite thing I've written.
You should read it if you're listening to this and you haven't read it before. You should look it up.
Parts
it's called,
2 through 3.
3 Days in Hell. The E3 Diaries.
But yeah, like it was like it was fun to do, but afterward, like I've talked to so many people at Hard Drive that read it and you know, usually liked it or whatever. They'd be like, oh, that was great. And I'd be like, yeah, it was really cool. Like, it was cool to go to E3. And every single one of them was like, oh, like you went to E3? Like,
they didn't realize.
Right.
Like, I really didn't have to do it.
Yeah, to be fair, there's no precedent of any of the, you know what I mean, of any of the shit we talk about having a foot in the wall. That's, yeah. Oh, man. You inspired me to do that. I got press passes to a thing I didn't end up going to because I think I like had to start my new job or something. But even just that, once we broke the gate open on that, I was like, wait a minute. So you can
you can just go to shit for free,
like,
baby.
Here's my wait, websites? I have a website.
Yeah, it's less so like
cool.
it shows how like internet writing has changed, but like instead of it being like, man, I like, you know, trying to find somewhere that'll pay you enough to live to write, I was just amazed, like, wait, yeah, like I could write. Like, yeah, I was like asking Jeremy, like, I have this crazy idea. Could I like do it? And Jeremy was like, yeah. And it was sort of like, you know, like Andy, like you could just put it on the website. Like just I typed this into WordPress and pushed like I didn't like even write it ahead of time or whatever. Like I often forget that, you know, I could bring the website down any day.
That's the moral of that story.
Right.
I don't know if you mean inadvertently or not. I don't know.
No, this is mutually assured destruction. We all have our finger on the button at all times.
Is this there's a doomsday device scenario at Hard Drive? I didn't know this.
Yeah, I feel like
love that.
I'm into it. I'm constantly talking to Andy and being like Andy's always like, I have this great idea for like a video game comedy thing, but I just don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, Andy, we have a video game comedy website. You can just put it on that website. That's a laugh.
But I want someone important to tell me that it's a good idea and that I should do it. The one thing that I've never had.
Yeah. But that's why you need to set up a board of investors for your life to approve your comedy ideas.
That's right. I think most comedy people would agree. Like, I would like just one day for a really authoritative person to either tell me you should do this or to tell me not to do it. Either one would be a relief. But I'm right in the middle, right? It would be great if Mr. Television was like, dude, it's not gonna happen. It would be like, fuck, that's great. Like, that's awesome.
It is a Mr. Television, probably.
Yeah.
Just historically.
Yeah. It's a family business, the television industry.
It's not a coincidence about the name. That's very telling detail. You'll never guess who got elected president of television. Fucking Johnny Television, Roger's kid.
One of you guys are getting fucking arrested over there.
That's because I talked bad about television.
New York City, baby.
That's right.
Okay, originally my plan for this stream was that we would each bring one short hard drive story and we would each talk about it. And we just did Andy's. We're like an hour and a half into this podcast. But
I insisted on reading that.
So Kevin, Jeremy, and myself will just tell ours simultaneously. Go ahead, Jeremy. So a thing that happened to me one of the most important
things I've ever done.
The thing about writing online.
Tell me more. Wow.
I really had a good time writing this article.
No
Kevin,
way,
you can't make half of this shit up, but I do.
Let's
get all the clips in for the theme song. Whoa, what?
Let's because it's Mark and I are on this podcast more than enough. Let's do a Kevin and see how we feel.
Hey man, I'm here. What do you want to know?
I'm of the opinion Kevin can wait, everybody.
That's what that show is about.
No. Sorry. I'm sorry. That story's about Kevin trying to tell a story.
Well, hearing so much about E3 made me just reflect on going to PAX, which I already mentioned. But man, we got to talk about this. I mean, it's a lot of the same, oh my gosh, I'm really here. Emotions that Andy was describing was the energy that I felt at PAX.
I'm gonna guess you were on less edibles. I'm guessing.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly zero edibles.
PAX is the last thing we did before COVID.
Yeah, like there were a couple of companies, like Square Enix was promoting Final Fantasy VII Remake at PAX, but they had and they had a booth there, and like the voice actors were there, but like the team from Square Enix was supposed to come as well, I think, and like everybody that was supposed to be coming from like Asia had canceled, because at that point like people in the Eastern Hemisphere were already like we're not going to travel because this thing is like ramping up, really? Which was really crazy, because then like literally 2 weeks later it all started.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask when PAX was. Not
it was. We were there on Leap Day.
Oh, right. It was Leap Day.
And the reason I know that, yeah. Go ahead, Andy.
Sorry, I just remember you guys getting back and like it was such a hit, and it was sort of like, man, it's like this is the beginning. Like this is gonna rule. Like, man, like that was great. We're gonna do rallies. We're gonna
we're
gonna do so much stuff with big groups of people in small spaces. It's
like
gonna be
the
great.
ice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The ice was broken, and
for those listening, we did a big Ace Watkins rally, right? Did we mention that?
I didn't mention that was the reason why, but that's why we went to PAX.
We did an Ace Watkins rally, and we got I think 300, 400 people to show up in the
something
room.
like
and
that.
Just to be all the way clear, that is our fake presidential candidate character. Just to be all the way.
It's also a great COVID character to do, because we didn't know at the time that the COVID was as big as it was, but it was the beginnings of it, and we're like, let's do a character that shakes everyone's hands.
He did sign somebody's vape, which was my favorite Ace interaction.
That's
true.
He signed a child's vape.
The day we got back from PAX, I started emailing colleges like, we have a show. We're coming to your college.
We have a
Give
routine.
us some money.
We're taking on the road.
Then the world ended.
Right.
Yeah.
Phil got COVID, and then
Phil died. Phil James.
We had to replace him with a clone like Paul McCartney.
Dude, the fact that Phil had so many YouTube videos just on his hard drive that we could keep putting out on Thursdays is insane.
Phil archive.
When we run out, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. That's going to be
the Twitch presence has been really a remarkable.
Yes.
Those APIs, man, it's amazing.
Those APIs, those deep fakes, I love them.
Anyway, PAX. So
yeah. I was just saying, I had a great dang time at PAX. I went to college in Boston, and so it was cool to just go back. I had actually never gone to PAX as an attendee, while I was there, my whole time in Boston. And so being able to go as an exhibitor and to be on stage and to meet people and see people actually recognizing Ace and to go, stump for him on the convention floor was a damn fun time. I had a great time.
My favorite thing about doing PAX, well, not my favorite thing, the whole thing was a blast, but one of my favorite bits that we kept doing was that people, I guess a lot of people that was their first interaction with Ace Watkins, the presidential candidate. And people just kept asking us if we would do XYZ. And we agreed that the funniest thing is to just think about it for a moment and then say yes. Because it's not real. So
right. Compute the logistics of the fake request and be like, yeah, I can squeeze that in.
Yeah.
But the pause is everything.
Can you localize Mother 3 or whatever? And we'd be like,
we're like,
you know what? Yeah, you know what? We'll do it, and it'll be the first day, and people would cheer every time.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
What they want. Yeah. It's like on the Twitter account too. Every Ace tweet, all the replies are sort of Ace tweets, people trying to do Ace tweets.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of very the people, they have a hunger for a gamer president.
It's still going to happen. It seems like we quieted down, but he will be there in January.
We were not at all bullied away from doing it.
No.
We're not at all terrified of people blaming us for this election going any particular way.
I'm not, dude. Fuck that shit. I'm writing Ace Watkins in. I live in New York.
Someone's gonna do it. Isn't that crazy that our character will be voted for president?
I'm going to vote for him. Not
okay. All right. Okay. so at least I think at least twice.
No, I agree. I think that's true.
And Jeremy's influence is really going to come out in the polls then. We'll see how Ace shows up. It's a direct correlation to Jeremy's endorsement, I think, at this point.
I'm like the Susan Sarandon of Ace Watkins. I'm a very influential person online. People are looking to me specifically for who to vote for in this election. And I think that if Donald Trump does win, I think that the country as a whole, instead of blaming the left, should just blame Jeremy Kaplowitz. I'm willing to take if my shoulders.
That's good.
I'll carry that burden.
That's very ethical of you.
Thank you.
And while we're on the subject, somebody in the chat did ask if Ace will nominate Phoenix Wright to the Supreme Court, and the answer, of course, is yes. Phoenix Wright will be the Attorney General.
Can we do that? You know what? Yes, we can. Yeah,
yes, we can. Now that we think about it,
yeah.
I think we've actually tweeted
was going to be like, Jeremy, of course you can. Then I fell for the bit. I fell for the wait a minute.
It's always funny.
Yes, we can.
It's
a fun
always
ride.
funny.
It's a fun ride.
I think we actually have tweeted that too. So,
but
Attorney General,
I was going to Google it. We've tweeted everything, man.
We've tweeted it all.
Tweeted everything you can tweet.
That's the only reason it seems like we're slowing down, because we've been running. It's like when Sonic slows down and you're like, man, Sonic's running kind of slow. And it's like, he's running 80 miles an hour right now. And he's slowing down to a halt. And it's like no biggie for him. That's what it's like when we go into quiet mode.
Can I take this opportunity? I want to come out as an undecided voter. I'm an undecided voter. I just really like attention.
I think that's brave of you, man.
So bring it on, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm aging out of a lot of demographics as a 35-year-old man. So undecided voter, everybody. I don't know what's going on.
You still have a month left to make up your mind, but more importantly, you have a month left to make this all about you. So go for it.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
And you're in a swing state too, sort of, right?
I've been told.
So I've heard.
Yeah. But,
everybody's really excited.
What do you think will be the deciding factor for you?
Oh boy, just heaps of shame from one direction or the other, frankly.
Well, isn't it? It's probably who gets the maddest at you on Twitter, right?
Right.
Those people are the ones that you will vote for. It's the people
I just honestly, I got to look into both candidates and see if any of them have some stuff I like. I'm a little out of the loop, frankly, on this election.
Check out their platform.
Usually, I'm pretty up to speed on things. Just one, just whoosh. I don't know what's going on.
It gets a little.
I got into the Steam World games. I got a new job. I don't know what's going on.
I like the idea that Mark has a pile of like government white papers on his desk, who's going to read up on the policy. I don't know who these two guys are. I don't really know much about them.
Yeah.
I got to read up on the documents.
Yep, Joey Biden and Don Trump. I don't know.
just like writing packets, I'm going to take the candidates' names off of their bios.
That's the only fair way to do it, dude. The only fair way.
Blind submission packet for president.
Oh, man,
that's how you do it.
This reality TV host seems.
Yeah, this guy's just.
That's some interesting experience. All right.
Wow. A New York City real estate developer who later became a reality TV star and then ran for president as a joke.
Hey, I'm from New York. Real estate's a hard business.
You took the name off. You're being an objective voter. Looking
Looks
out for your
great on
investing.
paper.
You say real estate. It's interesting because I believe in the electoral process, so I do have a big undecided sign in my yard.
Just a big question mark.
I told you I want the attention.
Mark shrugging.
When people if people probably canvassers come to your house and then they leave.
I ask them to.
Confused.
I wave them in when I see them around. I try to get them in. Mixed results.
We had a Ace.
They've been burned too many times.
We made Ace Watkins signs, and we went to New Hampshire to film a bit that will probably never come out. But I tried to join a Bernie Sanders chant with an Ace Watkins sign, and I got kicked out.
That they were very aggressive about it.
They were like, "What's your deal, man?" And I was like, "I'm on your side, guys. I'm a Bernie guy." They're like, "Your thing says gamer president on it," and I was like, "Trust me, man."
But wait, you were chanting the chant though. You were like trying to.
Don't remember.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly. It was definitely sketchy.
I remember
they had half a point. They could have been nicer, but they had half a point. Right?
No, they were absolutely right. I was making a mockery of Bernie Sanders.
Not to out him because he is a good boy, but Ben, our old intern, I still remember him telling a story. It was like right after Ace had blown up or whatever. He said he was on a date with a girl who was a gamer, a coffee shop date, first.
Wait a minute,
date.
hold on.
Okay, a girl who was allegedly a gamer, right? Who identified as a gamer.
Yeah.
We don't know the background.
We don't even know what her gamer score is. So
no,
what's her KDR?
It's not really our plate, guys. We shouldn't be talking about her gamer score. That's not really cool.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Ben is an honest kid, so no doubt he looked into it himself, and he said she's a gamer, and there's he said it's a coffee shop date, just met this girl, and he was like, I'm gonna tell her I'm the intern for Ace Watkins, this is gonna be this will be cool, right? And he said he told her Ace Watkins, I'm actually part of that, and she said, oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I didn't know that. I was like, I'm so sorry, man. No, it's hilarious.
So funny.
Well, we all learned that lesson at some point, right? Yeah. Oh, man, I'm gonna tell them about my tweets, and it's gonna be great.
It's a big swing. It's a big swing to take. I mentioned the hard times in the job interview that led to my job that I have now. Because I took a swing, the guy looked like a punk dude with tattoos and stuff like that, and it landed, and it doesn't always. And when it does, it was I probably would have got the job either way or whatever, right? I don't think it made the difference, but it's always nice when it connects because sometimes we've laughed about when you have to work backwards. It's like, oh well, it's for this thing. Hard. Do you know hard? It's like the hard times. You don't know it. No, it's like the Onion. Oh, you don't know the Onion. Well, comedy, right? Okay,
you're familiar with news.
That could be a long walk.
The opposite happened to me one time where because I contribute to the Onion, mostly headlines and oh, did I tell you guys that?
You pick now to tell us this?
Holy fuck.
That might be the first time that it's being heard by the audience, but I held my tongue on the OGN.
Is that you? You're OGN?
I am Mr. OGN.
God,
no,
this explains so much.
No, but I when I would be looking for jobs right out of college, I would put on my resume just to try and stand out, whatever. And every now and then, if somebody was down with that, they would bring it up and be like, "Oh, I see the Onion. What's your favorite thing that you've written?" And then I would pick what I thought was a good recent one. And sometimes it would land, but sometimes the person would just go, "Okay." Just ask the next question, and that
best one, huh?
Worse. That's all you got. Okay, cool.
Hard times got me my day job, which again, I'm not going to say the company, but it did get me my day job, and I put the E3 thing was in my packet of. Yes. It's a copywriting job, and it was in my packet. But they were all just
I love that.
They were all hard to I it was in my packet, so they must have read it or whatever. But I think what the interview was just them being like, oh, did you write the one with the sound guy, or did you write, they just, and I kept just being like, well, no, I actually don't write most of them. I write some of them, but and then they'd be like, oh, no, yeah, that's cool. But the one with the crust punk, what about that one? Did you write that one? And I just started being like, yes, yeah, I did.
You just say yes. If it's a yes or no question, you take it.
And
Yeah.
it
You pause a second and you say,
And
you go,
it brings
yeah.
them such joy, though. You'd be like, yes, and they're like, oh fuck, wow.
It's you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great feeling.
Mark, do you want to tell a little hard drive story? You got one for us or no? You want to pass?
I was thinking about it. I don't know that I like this, and I'd like to pass. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine. You can pass.
I don't know that I care for this. No, I don't know. Nothing too wild. I feel like, but I came, hard drive. I got involved with because when it came to be time to come up with it, I was kind of put on the team by way of
when we were like, let's come up with hard drive.
When we're like, hard drive's not around. What the fuck? I was called in on those why isn't hard drive around meetings.
Yeah. No, Matt Sainkum reached out to me, you, and Mike Amory. Who
and then it was like, let's put the fucking, you're pitching a lot of Tony Hawk jokes into the punk rock thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're having mixed results, so let's get you on an island.
Right.
Right.
But no, but by way of like hard times, some really unreal things have happened. And for a while, I think, well, it was actually, for a minute, I was the kind of like breaking news editor at Hard Times and help like fly the satirical articles out, which are so hit or miss. But obviously, when you hit on something like that and kind of can become like the joke of the day, of the news of the day, can be crazy. So like on my watch, not an article I wrote, but one that I edited, and we had this one like locked and loaded. Sometimes you can anticipate the news, and it was, do you remember a lifetime ago when President Don Trump
old Donnie?
So you are keeping up with things a little bit.
Yeah,
I read up. There was a minute that that's that guy now. Oh my
God, him. Oh, Don Trump.
Amazing how people creep up.
So he's like an established politician. Okay, I'll remember.
Oh, Don Trump. Okay, Trump.
So he's been around the block. Okay,
continue.
So when they sent out that text to everyone, that was like the new warning system or whatever. And we all got that text one day. That was like a known thing. So we had the thing locked and loaded to be like, Tiffany Trump receives first ever text from her father, and like it's obviously it's fun to write a joke you like, whether it goes well or not, or to edit it, or to be a part of putting it up or whatever. But then when you like it and it does well, obviously that's really cool too, and to see people connect with it. And like you think the ceiling on like when a joke performs well, and it's like, oh, it's got this many likes at noon, and you check back a few hours later and that number's higher. But this one had that weird like exponential like up, and now it's like by the end of the day, sometimes like CNN or whatever will cover like the quips of the day, and you'll see Jimmy Fallon tell a monologue joke about a thing. It was like end of the day, it was like literally a screen cap on CNN, and Sally Jesse Raphael's reading the fucking Hard Times headline. But like the article I uploaded that morning, that was like the most surreal and like strangely, I don't know, just like this whole thing with Hard Times and Hard Drive, it's just been such a strange. I joked before about the emoji and the channel being like me in high school wearing a Mario mask, where like it all just kind of tracks of like I've never known what the hell to do with it, but I've always just had this like pop culture junk brain,
Yeah. And this Mario mask.
And this Mario mask that I use to hide it. Right. If anyone sees me, they just think I'm a normal guy that just like out plumbing or whatever. But
you've MacGyvered a website together by looking around your brain at all the
kind
stuff
of a little bit, right? If you showed that guy in high school, like, hey man, guess what you're doing now? You're doing this fucking website. It'd be cool, man. Cool. So it's like your job, and then you say, well, that's not important. You'd say what's important is you have a job and you're doing this, and that's but yeah, just the fact it could have been anything on CNN or TV, and that would have been fun. But like that extra thing of like Sally Jesse Raphael, who's like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Garbage talk show. Yeah. So that's mine. It's less a story and just a weird moment, but like,
no, man,
I don't know. It's been a website. There's not been, you guys are coastal people. I've moved from Michigan to a camper in the, that want, like when we started Hard Drive, I lived in Michigan for about, for like 3 months or so. I lived in a camper as we wandered around the country, and we've been in Arizona since. So, the things that happen on this screen are like as exciting as it. I don't get to go to the conventions or anything.
Right.
Like
We've all of us have met each other except for Mark.
That's true.
None of us have met Mark. He could not exist.
There's a pretty big betting pool about whether or not I have legs.
But I met like I only met Kevin and Jeremy very briefly.
Very briefly. And the first thing you said was, "You're real." It was a little
weird at first. It's weird. Weird to say, I suppose, say this on air, but you're like, I consider you good friends of mine, and I've spent no time in the same room as you, at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it's like, I don't know, where our website was built for this moment, for everyone to be locked in their homes.
Big time.
Like our dynamic, our team dynamic, especially. But that's also, I wanted to shout this out too, because I realized that I didn't even go into like, or we kind of alluded to histories with the hard drive, and like Andy was affiliated with the Hard Times for a long time.
No, Andy was the first ever contributor to Hard Drive.
To Hard Drive. Oh, I didn't even realize that. But Jeremy and I actually met a few years like before I got involved with Hard Drive at UCB, which is where I met Jeremy like a year after I started UCB, and then literally 3 months later, in the next class I took, I met Phil, and then when I joined Hard Drive, who plays Ace Watkins, and then and that was like a great and that was like something that was also like in the back of my head when we were going to PAX, of just like the full circleness of it, and the fact that I remember that it was Leap Day. I specifically remember that because the last Leap Day before that, Jeremy and I performed on a comedy show at a very fancy Broadway adjacent like cabaret bar in Midtown Manhattan called Feinstein's 54 Below. It was this really weird show put on by this guy that we both knew in the New York comedy scene. It was really fun. We were the only comedy acts on the thing.
I don't think I did well.
I think you did well.
I remember being very embarrassed. This isn't like I'm not looking for like no, it's okay.
No.
But I remember my bit. I was just doing like open mic stand up at this point, basically. I had come from an open mic. I had just moved to the city, and I was like floundering around a little bit. And there was a really big fancy piano.
That's right.
On stage, like a big grand piano.
I'm dying to hear what Jeremy did with it.
I laid on top of the piano to tell a dick joke, as if I was like a ballroom. Like
you laid on it.
It was so funny.
The host of the show was clearly very nervous and like, oh my god, like, please don't do that. And I was like, dude, it's okay, like I'm gonna be fine. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about you. I care about the piano. And I just felt this like weird sense of shame where I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like everyone on this show except for me and Kevin are like singing beautiful songs.
Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller was involved. A video address.
They gave a video. It
was weird.
I like the idea that they would be like and this is very true. Like, it's hard to remember. Like, to them, they're like, I don't care about your fucking joke. I just like this is so not worth even a 1% risk of breaking this piano. No. Like, they don't appreciate your art form.
They just don't appreciate it, man. But anyway, that was in my mind. We talked about that on the way to PAX, and now I think it just has to happen that every Leap Day.
I was gonna say that's like together. That's like a movie thing. You guys are like Leap Day.
We're Leap Day comedy friends,
right? We have to do a show. I
think we have to, and it has to be part of, because now it's like you do it twice, you have to keep doing it.
And that's my mind. In 4 years, like
we don't know. We could have a TV show in 4 years.
And that's true.
You know, we don't know. But whatever it is, we're gonna have to do it. Because that's the rule now. So that's my other happy memory, is just the long winding road to end up here, and the way that things connect and cross paths. And I love it. Fucking hard drive, baby.
Oh yes.
Dude, I nerded out and was very anxious when like me and Kevin got made editors together, and
just say made.
We got made.
We got made. Yeah, that's right.
We took the blood out.
That's right. There was like a bird there. It creeped me out. It was like
it's a Sopranos podcast.
Like a bad sign. It's. I think it's time for us to come out and say that this is actually a Sopranos podcast. That I'm watching it for the first time. You guys are,
various.
Anyway, I was gonna say, what I was like, oh, there's 2 people that got the gig. Like, that's cool. Like, who's the other one? And they're like, it's like an Onion writer. I was like, oh fuck, man. God damn it.
I'm such a grunt.
Wait. The other guy's funny. Fuck. Like, I don't even have to worry about.
I mean, that's an interesting thing that maybe we haven't mentioned, and is that you come from like a world of real writing where we all do come from dick jokes, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty relevant, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's like there's so much balance there.
I have a master in fine arts. That is true.
There you go.
My first publications were in like fancy literary magazines and stuff. I still don't. I often still feel like you guys are pulling a prank on me to like people are all pretending that things I say are funny. That's honestly how I feel. Every day it's like, oh, people on Twitter are being so nice that they think that this joke is funny, you know?
Oh yeah. I've lost all hope that anybody actually reads anything I put on.
But no, I mean, I think it's because of all those fucking stand-up comedy podcasts where like it started sounding like this thing where you have to be like a monk to be funny.
No.
Like you have to be like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the whole like you got to be in the club, you got to put up your stage time, and you have to sit in a booth and get bullied by Patrice O'Neill, and like that's
Right.
that's real.
I'm
Otherwise,
imagining-
you're not really funny.
I'm imagining Andy going on fucking WTF and Mark Maron's like, who are your guys, Andy? And Andy's like, Waluigi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Bowser.
Drill.
like 10 minutes later, like dry bones, like the little baby dry bones.
Baby dry buns. You know they're gonna make a baby one of him eventually.
Breath of the Wild Link, Link's Awakening Link, Majora's Mask Link, like bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it would be drill. It would just be.
It would be drill. We all love drill.
I remember when we were starting out in the clubs, me and Drill, we'd get on stage and just shit in a bucket.
Those were the days.
Just filling bucket after bucket after bucket.
All right, I'll give my quick little story, and then we'll
right,
call
all
this
right.
podcast a day because we've been streaming for it says 6 years.
Wow.
That's short though. I've learned that's a short stream.
Yeah.
Tight.
That's called a quibby.
That's right.
Called the Quippy.
Okay.
Quick. It stands for quick bites.
Quick. It's a
Oh
quick
my
bite.
Oh my god, I just got that. Now I'm gonna subscribe. I just got that.
Oh, dude, not to interrupt.
better
This is one more thing. This reminded me
Okay.
that this is embarrassing but true. Like earlier this year, like maybe like 6 months ago, I was
Okay.
driving through LA and I saw a billboard that just was for the show Transparent, right? Just an ad, just like, you know, it's LA, like a for your consideration Emmy billboard for Transparent.
Sure.
And it hit just out of nowhere. I'm just driving down the street and it hits me for the first time. I was like, oh my fucking God. Transparent. Like, holy shit.
You'd
Like,
never realize.
I'm like screaming in my car, like, oh my God. Fuck. Like, that's so good. Years and years and years. I have
That's
no
so
idea.
funny.
Fuck. Like,
I
that's
also had that realization way too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Like
and
the
Men's
FedEx era.
Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse.
It's WEAR.
Yeah. I don't want to freak you guys out, but you see that symbol on
Check,
Waluigi's
yeah.
hat?
Yeah.
Think about what it would look like if you flipped it upside down, dude.
Oh my
Oh, shit.
God.
Oh
it would
my
That'd be
God.
so
Tetris block.
fucking so fucking twisted.
Dude.
All right, what's your story? Tell us
Jeremy?
about hard drive. Tell us how you birthed hard drive out of.
Is it
your
about
body.
that little twisted mustache? I think it might be.
I think it might be that little
Wait,
little
let me-
mustache. We all
I'm
know.
gonna try to get people to come to our stream by saying I'm tweeting that we're telling the inside story. I've told this on everything in the world, but so you guys have all heard it a million times. But
Yeah.
I do think it's one of the more interesting or
Gather
stupid hard
round,
drive
chill.
things.
It's okay, man.
Gather
I
round.
don't
Do you want?
listen
Do you want
to
to?
you, man.
Do you
It's
need to wait a second to let that tweet hit before you
No,
get into
gives a
it?
fuck, dude.
And the
Let it
tweet
land.
hit.
No, man.
Dude, let that friggin' tweet hit, bro.
I love
Telling you, man.
I love that really nice pop you get when you tweet when it lands that little
yeah.
goes, you know, like you do make a fist, you get your veins going and you just, you know, stick that
You
tweet
just
in there.
take that straight.
Like your phone, like you're putting your phone in your elbow, Andy.
Mm.
That's right. Yeah. You don't need to know, like, it's a private moment.
Okay.
No one's ever, if I'm with my girlfriend, I go to the other room to post. I don't.
We have a room for it in our apartment.
A posting room?
posting.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, what?
You guys
what
don't post in
luxury.
front of each other yet?
No,
That
no.
would be
I-
such luxury. That would be incredible.
I do honestly do shit like that. Sometimes if I'm like I have an idea for a really like long tweet, I'll just go to the bathroom. I'll just like sit on the toilet and do it. Like it just
Wait,
feels like the
but
best
you
day.
don't mean in an announced I'm going to the tweet office way.
No,
You mean,
no,
like,
I should.
You're like, boy, I gotta take a crap, and you take a
Yeah, and then I tweet.
you walk out like a 50s movie villain.
You come up with so many good tweets and go to the bathroom so many times. Everybody's like, "Is Jeremy okay?"
No,
Like,
thank
Jeremy,
you.
for being so ill, your tweets are killing it tonight. I couldn't help but notice.
They
Every time you're in there to
smell
throw
terrible.
up. Every time you go take a bath, there's like a good tweet at the other side.
It's on the bath every time.
I gotta take another bath. Hey, Jeremy, did you hear about this new Black Mirror episode? Oh, God. I gotta brush my teeth.
I gotta brush my teeth.
Okay. This story would be a lot funnier if we waited 2 hours, but
Yeah.
This article
Sure.
for a long time was...
Oh, God damn it, I forgot what day.
it's September 10th, baby.
Yeah.
You're allowed to forget that one.
Oh shit, I did forget.
You're allowed.
Damn
I'm
it.
telling you, it's okay.
The one thing I wasn't supposed to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn it.
That's what this story is about, Andy.
This is about
Right, okay.
Because
Yeah.
this is the most popular article we've ever written on Hard Drive until it was dethroned by J.K. Rowling announces that you, the reader, were gay all along. Right?
True.
Like, this defined our website for like a little
It
too
had,
long.
and I will say, it had the high score, and it was not bound, like we said before, about the highs and lows of a story tied to a news cycle. This was just like on its own two legs, giant hit, not any kind of like current event. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And,
the
for
headline-
those listening,
Yes.
you're going to read it.
I was going to say the headline is Nintendo confirms Waluigi is uncircumcised for some reason. An article that I was outvoted on in our editorial meeting. I vetoed this article. I said that's not funny. It has one
It's
of the
like
funniest
Killer
jokes.
Instinct.
The
Yeah.
final joke of it is fucking. I think it's Miyamoto. Oh no, it's someone else.
Oh, this one's good. Yeah, this is a great
Mishima
one.
saying, also, remember the Shy Guys he added? None of them have any gag reflexes, so you could really go to town if you wanted. One of the funniest things that's on our website is this article.
Really go to town is a great.
Go to town if you want.
Yeah.
This article came out September 11th, 2017. It was like 2 months after we launched the website. It was like our first hit, and it blew up.
It's
It was,
yeah,
like,
that's a good.
huge.
Yeah, it's all very new and exciting, and maybe too stressful or something, or like
Yeah.
where. Sorry.
No, yeah, go for it.
No, it's your story. Your story.
Okay. So when we first came out, we were gonna run this. We were gonna run a different article. We were going to run the day that we were gonna run this article. We were going to run. God punishes GameStop employees for building Funko Pop Tower too high.
Another
And the
good show.
image is a GameStop with a large tower, 5 by 5 by 5 of Funko Pop, getting struck by lightning, exploding. And we.
Oh, look, it's a Seth. That was a
It is
Seth Macy.
That one's
That's
Seth
Oh, shit.
Macy.
Amazing.
There we go.
That
And he's
is
right
amazing.
IGN editor Seth Macy wrote this article. in
fucking Seth
2017.
Macy is so talented at so many more things.
It's a great article. I was really
Yeah.
proud of the Photoshop and whatever. Anyway, we were going to run this article, and then like 10 minutes before it goes live, I don't remember who, someone in the editorial Slack was like, wait a minute, today's 9/11, and we're going to run an article about God destroying a building that is
for
shaped
no
like a
good
tower.
reason. For
Like,
no
if-
good reason.
It looks so much like we're doing an edgy 9/11 joke with this article if it runs on 9/11.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
we
also like then it's like kind of half there, like it's,
Yeah.
it's not really.
It's so
unclear.
offensive.
It's like-
It makes it look like God is punishing us for 9/11.
Mhm.
Like if
And
you
we-
look at okay, you might say that's blasphemy. And I don't like any of that stuff. But beyond that,
Right.
it's like a joke about fucking Funko Pops.
Yeah,
that,
no, the
that feels so harmless. So like you wouldn't think twice about it when we traffic in a lot of different like weird edgy
Mhm.
bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the Funko Pop Tower is an allegory for American exceptionalism.
It just didn't feel like one of the riskier ones until one day
Right.
you go, oh fuck.
Also, like I just happened to draw the photo like that. Like the photo could have been anything really. It could have just been a bunch of Funko Pops. But like I
Yeah,
made it
it
look
is
like
a very-
fucking World
It's a
Trade
yeah.
Center.
It's a yeah. Right. It's a
Right.
cube, tall, structured cube. Yep.
God damn.
It's just very funny to me that we like straight up forgot 9/11.
And then came out of it with the.
But yeah, so we were gonna run. We had to run an article, and we didn't know what to run. We had one article available that day, and it was Nintendo confirms Waluigi's uncircumcised for some reason. And I was like, whatever, we can just run this one. It's like I was at my day job, so I didn't have access to Photoshop, and I remember being like, I wish I could give this one a proper photo where I Photoshop, Waluigi's dick, and it's, fucking censored, and there's he's getting fucked in the butt by Bowser. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, you know how we do.
We know how we do. We didn't have time, so I just picked just a generic photo of Waluigi, and I think that is the secret to this article's success. It became
I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of articles where it is like his censored dong hanging out or
Hey, man.
whatever. That
Yeah.
it's like it is just such like that's him. Yeah, maybe
I
that's
think
all
this
it
would
needs
have
to
bombed.
be. Like
I think this would have not done well if we did it because it just looks like a real article.
It's just like jazz. It's all about the dicks you don't Photoshop.
Yeah, no, for real.
dude,
That spacing between the dicks.
It like defined the site for years to come.
Yeah.
It actually is very. I mean, hey, if anyone is for some reason were to want advice from people at Hard Drive, the only thing I've learned is that the less hard we try, generally, the better stuff. I'm like kind of not even kidding. Like I feel like all the best shit that we've done was when we were in a mood where we were like, you know what, fuck this. Like let's just do. I'm bored. Let's like do something stupid. What if? Man, I wish a gamer was.
Yeah, I wish a gamer was president.
I wish Raytheon had a gaming site.
That was a fun, short-lived one. Raytheon Gaming.
Not to
a memory
like,
for
too in the weeds about like comedy shit. But I feel like every joke is a setup and punchline if you don't realize it. And the setup of every satire article is your brain thinking for a split second it's real until you get to the end.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's everything, man.
The anecdote that I have heard, I don't know how, made up or oral history this is, but The Onion started on the campus of Madison, Wisconsin, University of Madison, Wisconsin. And the story goes that there was an actual student paper called The Union. And
wow,
and even though it was made independently, it wasn't college affiliated. I don't think. Maybe it was started by students or something.
Whoa! That tracks with the fucking OGN thing. They're just some one-letter change.
That's very true. That's very true. But
dude,
anyway,
there it is. There's a secret.
Yeah, but I heard that they would just like put it next to it, and then the idea was that you would pick it up half looking at it and then go, huh? I thought this was a newspaper, and then you get tricked.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but that's one story I've heard anyway. It's all urban myths and everything.
I remember reading one time The Onion, that the Onion editorial staff, like the original dudes that started the Onion, said that the premise of the paper is a newspaper that has nothing but contempt for its readers.
That's true.
And I think that's like that colors all of it so perfectly.
The Onion's Latin motto is "Tu stultus es," which translates to "you are dumb."
That's funny.
Yeah.
And it's funny talking about that impression that satire makes. I just want to read Diceblock MPL wrote, it definitely was, which I think maybe when we said about the Waluigi thing being flagship, but this was my first exposure to hard drive and was not sure it was satire until I clicked, as bizarre as that sounds, but it did get me to click and share. But I think maybe is that the sweet spot too, where there's like, I like that there's that vagueness in the Waluigi one for some reason. It's like, for some reason you could even dive in and be like, is it like Nintendo said this for some reason?
Right.
Or is it like, is there a Nintendo saying, look, for some reason we've thought about this and yes, he's circumcised? Or do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
We
don't know why. We didn't explain it, but
and it's by no means something that we thought about before the fact. It was just, again, it was like a funny joke that barely squeaked through our rigid editorial, our clearly unbeatable editorial process. But yeah. Also when it hits, it's almost like the people told you to go, oh yeah, fuck, that is really fucking good. Like, you know,
for
some reason.
I also I've never made the change myself. I could go in and do it, but it has a mistake in the
Does
headline.
it really?
Is supposed to be capitalized?
Oh, you're right, but it's too late.
But you know what? It went viral, so
it would ruin it.
Yeah.
It would ruin it.
You know, that was whatever was special about that sauce. You know, it hit
when the joke hit.
It does have that new there's their thing that now it's like, if I ever were to pitch a Waluigi joke, there's Nintendo Waluigi, but also there's like what we've done with it, and it's not all the way disconnected, but it's like just worse. There's no going back.
That's sort of what I mean about like how I often we're in such a, I don't know, like there's such a whole bubble of like like kind of like communist gamers or whatever that are like all over Twitter or whatever, that we're used to this whole like weird little those are all the memes I see and shit. And then I meet gamers, and whether it's making a joke about the Waluigi thing or making some weird Twitter joke from whatever like left Twitter thing I've seen, like I always forget that like most people play video games, and most people aren't insane. Most people don't have the like they like log off and they like have like, I don't know, like, meaningful lives, and good for them, but I'm online all the time, but I just forget they're doing all kinds of gross shit with their kids. I don't know. They have kids. They're like they have like cleaning diapers. Like, that's fucking gross. Man.
Gross.
I'm gross.
Yeah,
I'm gross. Fuck you.
before they're old enough to play Fortnite, they like shit their pants all the time. It's weird.
Before they become your duo's partner.
I don't understand it fully, but it sounds gross.
I mean, they're making gamers, so I have to appreciate it. But saying like how often? But anyway, what you're saying, my image of like Nintendo is so colored by like my image of Waluigi is so weirdly sexualized that it's like that I'm saying that I seem like a crazy person.
You like it, don't you?
If you assume these people like know that they're in on the joke, but to them it's just like he's just the purple dude who plays tennis or whatever.
Right, exactly. Right,
I've been burned too many times forgetting that like most people aren't don't have the brainworm or whatever.
The video game satire brainworm.
Yeah. Like how do you explain to someone that my like blurry video of Waluigi on the Mario Party screen with Vince Staples playing like went viral? Like how do I explain that? Like
he's vibing. He's vibing. That's, if you got the vibe, you either got it or you don't.
I definitely think that for a little while, hard drive like ruined my comedy. Like I tried, like I for a little bit, I had to like teach myself that my stand-up voice had to be the same as it used to be, because I would go on stage and just do like video game stuff, like almost like shit post. And I was like, this isn't. I can't do this.
Right.
This doesn't work.
Yeah. My answer to that was to just stop doing all other comedy.
Yeah, I mean that works too. That works.
I kind of, it wasn't all the way point A to point B, but I did like sort of stop doing stand up along the way. And part of it for me was just like, I don't think I'm that interesting, like I don't want to get up there and be like, oh, you never believe what I thought today, some fucking guy. But it's like, yeah, but I can like make fun of other stuff. I can make fun of video games. This is such a much better fit for me where like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like when a comic tells me like a lot, like let me in, but I just I don't think I think anything that I don't know, like this. Yeah, it's better to just be like, hey, you know what I like? G.I. Joe, like, and I don't have to be like, hey, you guys remember G.I. Joe? What if that was still around? I think it might be
something. Too real.
It is still around. I mean, there's a movie.
No, totally.
No, I like that's just a very.
But what
funny.
if? No, yeah.
What if G.I. Joe's still on TV?
Yeah, G.I. Joe get iPad, of course.
Right. Yeah, it would be fucking. Who cares?
I think we should call that a podcast right there, you guys.
I think that's a podcast.
All right, guys. What we like to do is we give the episode a score from 1 to 10.
Oh yeah.
We like to pick an MVP.
No.
Jeremy and I haven't discussed. Are we not? We're not going to do that anymore. Okay, guys. Disregard if you've been thinking already. Keep it to yourselves.
Do you boys want to plug anything? Do you have anything to plug, really. Andy and Kevin?
There's actually there's a new podcast. It's from, I don't know if you've heard of them. The Onion.
Mm-hmm, no.
So like there's like an Onion for like video games.
Oh, that's like fake. That's like the Union but funny, right?
Yeah, right. Well, like, that like it's like those news stories that are designed to like trick you and make you think they're real. So it's like that, but it's like for, so it's like for gaming. So they're starting a podcast.
What are they called?
It's they're called Hard Drive.
So if I just Google Hard Drive, I should be able to find it.
Yeah, it's a really, that's what's great about that name. If you just type it into Google, you'll get straight to our publication.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they're starting a podcast. I highly recommend it.
Drive.
Yeah, check that out.
And
they mostly talk about them.
Seagate expansion 2 terabytes.
Fuck yeah, that's is it a SSD?
No, it's
2 terabytes.
It's just an external hard drive.
Dude, that's gonna fuck you over, man. You gotta go SSD or not at all.
Yeah, man, SSD.
They trick you with that. Anyway, like it's a podcast. They mostly talk about themselves. Yeah, check it out. You should check it out.
Check it out.
You got anything, Kevin?
I've been streaming some chill Death Stranding.
That's true. You have been.
I have been, and I've been enjoying that. I just built a gaming PC, so I have been enjoying the fruits of my labor by doing internet gaming shit.
And gaming is, of course, labor.
And gaming is, of course, labor. And delivering mail is labor. Register for mail-in voting, and follow me on Twitch if you want. And we can
what's your Twitch?
My Twitch is just KS Flynn. I should change. I should make it. I need to unify my brand. Some asshole on here is squatting on the handle that I usually use for stuff, and so I'm all disjointed. But yeah, KS Flynn. Check it out. Come hang out. I don't know what my schedule is. By the time by the time you hear this, it will be totally different.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's right.
Now catch me when you can, and we'll chill out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you guys. I'm sure we'll have you guys back on this podcast regularly. Yeah. But
hell yeah, man.
We're just gonna be Mark and I are just gonna be doing it. We're gonna be talking shit.
What are you guys thinking? Like, just kind of talking about like, gamer shit.
I think honestly, and we might have talked about this a little bit, but I think it's just like it's definitely worthwhile for the listeners to know too. And we have a lot of, we even talked about it before when Seth said that, people, whether it's people in IGN, it's like I think we've got some people that like us that are out there in the world, and we have a lot that's weird of an ask now about a podcast. That's
so true. I don't feel bad asking people to come on.
Yeah.
No
I think we're gonna like try to get people that have like made fucking cool video games that we like and do other cool things that Jeremy and I like and are interested in, and just use our powers for, I don't want to say good, but for a little bit more than just strictly a Mario TV show podcast, although that will still be forever in the DNA of our show.
Well, I mean, next week,
like I want to figure out who we fucking know. Who do I know that knows Patrick Dempsey? And let's still talk about some of these. Let's do that shit hasn't gone anywhere. But we also are now just more representative of Hard Drive, and what Hard Drive is obviously a video game focused comedy site that also just leans towards pop culture and nerd shit and whatever us bozos all are into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, it's sort of a neutral. I would like to think it would be sort of a neutral ground for people, because as much as we make fun of everybody, it's like, we don't have like any access to grind or whatever. Like,
no,
that's what I said.
We're not here to criticize like someone's game. Not really.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just tell jokes. That's all I know how to do. So that's the thing. If I could write really thoughtful, good, poignant, like serious
we fire
stuff about games. Yeah, right.
We'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Be doing other shit.
It sounds hard, man.
well, hey, man, it's like, I think you made a good point about, it'll always be in your DNA, because like they say, you can take the Super Show out of the Super Show, but you can't take the Super Show out of the Super Show.
I think that's right.
What they say.
I think I agree with that. Yeah.
They do say that.
On some level, you're right, because our Twitter handle is still at @ShowShowPod.
Yeah,
so we are.
So you will have to reckon with that.
We are dragging that with us.
Yeah.
Similarly, next week, our plan, and we're gonna make this as welcoming to new listeners as possible. And I think it will be very easy to do. We're going to write a spec script live on the podcast and Twitch of the Super Show, Mario going to Hyrule.
So yeah, Mark and Jeremy are going to write the fanfic last episode that we never got, where worlds collide.
Awesome.
We promise not to think about it more than that.
No, I refuse to think about it.
No, I will not.
We'll take suggestions from listeners, and we'll explain all the inside jokes with the show. That from the actual cartoon, and I think it's gonna be dope.
It's like that weird. It's like once your thought gets in your brain, it's like Inception or whatever else. Don't think of a pink elephant, then it is.
Yeah.
So if I catch myself thinking, even and trying not to, but the thought's in there, I will run into a wall. I've made that pledge. I've run into walls for less, but that's the plan for next week. So I think that'll be fun. And then I don't know where time will be. We'll either maybe we could do a run through, or we could do a run through. Maybe we have some guests do a read through on a later date. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out.
It sounds like you're thinking about it, man. I think you should.
Cut it out, Mark.
Okay, thanks. I'll be right back, guys. Jeremy, will you wrap up? Here we go.
Yeah. Geez, guys, I don't know. From what you described, it sounds like this is going to be a really popular, fun podcast.
I'm gonna try the patio door.
Mark is gone.
He missed my fun riff. Oh well.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We're still for those for one of the Twitch viewers who just showed up at the 2 hours in, who's like, wait a minute, what's happening? Will Mark and Jeremy still be on the podcast? Yeah, it's still going to be our dumb podcast. We're still going to do a lot of the same stuff, but it's going to be a little more welcoming to people, I think. So stick around. And hey, if anyone from Babylon B is listening to this, delete your website. It's bad.
Yeah, man. What's the deal? Not the B? Come on. Every website could call themselves that. Every other website that's not the B is not the B.
The best idea you've ever had was to do something called Not the B, but it ended up just being as bad as the first thing.
Yeah. We're lucky that we're at the end of the podcast.
It's not just bad comedy. You're bad people, and you should stop.
Yeah, you should stop doing it. Get a job in like a fucking restaurant or something.
There. If you made it all the way through this, there you go. That's what we actually think.
That's what we fully fucking think. That is no joke. You're
joke.
Bad. We don't
get out of here. We don't like you.
And as always, if you fell asleep listening to our podcast, now's the time to wake up.
Yes, we'll now take you out of the hypnosis, counting backwards from 10.
That's right. And you guys, great news. We'll be back next week. We're going to write a show, and you don't want to smoke anymore.
All right, everybody wave goodbye.
Bye.